Happy birthday! Woo! Hey y'all. Sorry, I was just enjoying some cake. I'm celebrating the 1-year birthday of my Vevor M2 sewing machine. So I figured since now I've had it for a year, I'm going to do a review, good, bad, pros, cons, everything about this machine. So if you're sitting on the fence wondering whether you should buy one of these, stick around. That's good stuff. Okay, so all kidding aside, a year ago I bought what is probably the most controversial industrial sewing machine out on the internet, and that's the Vevor M2. Some people call it the Vevor 5000 because I think on their website, on Vevor's website, I think they make reference to it being the Vevor 5000, and that's because the motor spins at 5,000 RPM. It's not 5,000 stitches per minute. I think it's 3,500 is the max. But I tell you, you don't want to go that fast. I typically, when I'm building a project, I will do 200 stitches per minute. If it's a long piece of something, I'm just going to keep on shoving more pieces and chain them together. I might go 400. 3,500 is ridiculous. But if you look on the little nameplate right here, it does say it's the Vevor M2. So that's what I call it. That's what other people are now starting to call it. But I just want to go through some pros and cons about this machine now that I've been using it for a year. I've put miles of thread through here, and I normally use anywhere from Tex 70 to Tex 90 thread. I typically, most of my projects are typically 1000D Cordura or 600, and it can do chiffon, cotton, linen, you know, anything like that. It doesn't have to be industrial fabric. You can adjust the pressure on your presser foot. So when you're doing that thinner material, you may want to back this pressure off some, but that's what I use this for. And it can be used for quilting. It doesn't have a drop feed for the feed dogs. What you'll have to do is take the needle plate off, remove your feed dogs, put the needle plate back on, and get a quilting foot, a free motion quilting foot, so that you can, you know, do your quilting. Some of the other things that I like about this is it's really easy to tension. It has a bobbin winder on top with a little thread cutter. It's got a window here that you can see your oil splashing around. And a little tip about that, since I do so much slower, and I only go about 200, every once in a while I will pull my fabric up and I will crank the speed up to 1500, something like that, and just hit the pedal, unthread it. but hit the pedal for a minute or two until you start seeing oil splashing up in this window, so that you know that you're getting lubricated up here on the top. This tension plate assembly is for your bobbin. I don't know if you saw the video that I made about this bobbin winder. Wow, this little automatic bobbin winder is so cool. It'll load up this machine uses the L size bobbins, and it will load up a L size bobbin in 5 seconds. And then it's got a little light beam going across here that you can adjust to how much thread that you want on your bobbin. Once the thread breaks that beam, it automatically shuts off, and it takes 5 seconds. I think it was 5.12 that I did on the review on this. Now, but you don't have to use one of these. You can do your bobbins on here just like anybody else, and you flip this bar over, and you can sit there and you can load up your bobbin. Now, as another subscriber found out, if you're going to load up 5, 6 bobbins in preparation for a big project, make sure your presser foot is up so that the feed dogs aren't rubbing on the bottom of the foot. Unthread it to at least right here, and just have your thread hanging out here, because you don't want that needle going up and down putting thread in here, because you're just going to make a big ball of thread up under there. It's going to lock up. But after you've done your 5 or 6 that you're going to load up, you can put another empty bobbin on here, get it ready, and just flip the lever over and just continue to sew. When this bobbin is full, it's going to pop that lever over and it's going to stop the motor. That's pretty cool. And it will fill this up way before it fills up the one that you've got loaded up already. So once this is done, finish the little part that you're doing and then go ahead and swap it out. And that way you don't run into the situation where you're sewing, you think you've got it done, you pull the fabric out, and you ran out of bobbin thread. A little tip about that is, when I come in here to sew for the day, especially when I've been away for a couple of days, I'm going to take my bobbin out because I want to look at it. I want to see how much thread is left on here. I want to see what color it is. I want to see what type it is. And I want to make sure that it's nice and tight on here. I don't want any loose thread. And then you put it back in, pull your bobbin thread up, and you're good to go. Because it would really suck if you didn't check your bobbin. You come in here in the morning, you do 6 inches, and you run out of bobbin thread just because you didn't check your bobbin. The speed is adjustable through these up and down arrows. As you see, I've got it on 200, and if you just hold it down, it'll go all the way up, and it goes to 3,700. That is extremely fast. I can't even imagine going that fast. But let's say that you've got it down, let's bring it down to 1,200. This button here is the little ramp up speed. It doesn't work when you've got her down at 200 already, but when you flip this on and you make sure that it's illuminated on the display, it's just a little arrow shaped like this. What it's going to do is it's going to start probably at 200, and after a few seconds, it's going to gradually go up to your maximum speed. Now, This machine, you can also feather the pedal. The speed that you have on here, 1200, that's the maximum it'll go if you've got the pedal held all the way down. But if you start off slow, you can go at well, let's see. You can go, so I've got it at 1200. I'm going to drop that down. And you see, I'm just barely touching the pedal. And I'm probably still at 200. Now, let's bring this back. I'm going to go all the way to here. I'm going to mash down that pedal and I'm going to see what 1200 is like. That's pretty fast. Let me grab my scissors here. So this piece is 9 inches long. I'm going to get these little spare threads out of the way so they don't get tangled up in the machine. Let's bump our speed. Let's have some fun here. Let's bump it up to 3,700. Holy cow. Are you ready for this? All right, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to hold my threads apart. I'm going to make sure that my material is in between there. And I'm going to slowly push down the pedal. Oop. I'm going to slowly push down the pedal. All right, here we go. 3,700 stitches per minute. No, I am not doing that. But you know what? Even at 3,700, those stitches look fantastic. They look fantastic, except for right there because I forgot to put my presser foot down because I'm not used to using this one right here. I normally use the knee lift. Okay, so one thing about the presser foot and your knee lift, you can lift the presser foot up with the knob right here on the back, and I want you to look at how high this is. Now, I'm going to take my knee and I'm going to lift it up with the knee lift. See how much higher it goes? It's sitting probably at 1/2 inch, but the knee lift takes it up probably, I don't know, about another 1/4. So that's pretty good. Now you might notice that right here I've got the speedy quick release for my foot. Watch this. Just push it down, your foot drops off. And if I don't get my diabetes under control, it's going to drop off like my foot. But, so that's pretty cool. It does have a light right here that you can turn on and off. There's the switch right there. And it has this half stitch button. So let me put my foot back on. And we got two things to talk about right here. All right, one is this machine, since it is a direct drive, meaning it doesn't have a motor underneath, this is the motor on this end, and it's computerized, and it does have a needle position sensor in there. And this button right here, you can press that, and if you look right here, see the arrow is up and the arrow is down. You can choose at the end of sewing, if you want your needle to be down in the fabric when you stop, or if you want it up. Personally, I keep it on down because when I'm done sewing and my needle is right here, I can just lift my presser foot and I can spin it around to whatever direction I need to go with the needle still down into the fabric. Now, with the needle in the fabric, you can raise this up one of two ways. You can do a heel tap on the pedal, or you can hit this button right here. This button raises it up, and it lowers it down. So what you're doing is you're actually going a half stitch at a time. And you can just sit there and you can just do it like that. Now that's real handy for my projects when I'm attaching maybe some 1-inch webbing onto here and I don't want to run off the edge, or if I'm putting on a piece of Velcro, I can go down one side and then I can turn it and I can just creep up to the edge of the Velcro, turn it again, and keep on going. And that's pretty cool. Other features that you have in here, the stuff that you're gonna want to change is the speed, the needle up and down, and this ramp up. I keep my ramp up on all the time. I keep my needle down when it stops, and I keep my speed on like 200 or 400, you know, it depends. The P and the S, I've had a lot of people ask me about the P and the S and what they are. Almost all DC digital brushless servo motors have almost an industry standard list of parameters. Those parameters are have to do with the workings of the computer. I think there's only one parameter that I've ever changed, and that's when I turn it on, that needle will automatically go down and back up. Because I wanted to do that, because remember I said when I come in here, I'm going to take that bobbin out, I'm going to check it, and I'm going to put it back in. When I turn the machine on, that needle goes down and back up. Guess what? It's pulled up my bobbin thread for me. I'm ready to go. So you don't have to mess with that. And then I think one of the others is the maximum speed. Well, you can do that with your up and down arrows. So other than that one parameter, you should not be going into this P and the S. And when you change the speed, you know, you can just change it. 700, start sewing. You don't have to hit S to save. You don't have to hit P, change your speed, hit the S. Because when you hit the P and you start hitting arrows, when you hit the P, you're in the menu system for the computer. And if you start hitting arrows and then S's, there's no telling what you're going to change. And you're going to have to go there. Luckily, if you keep your book that comes with this, one of the last parameters is to set everything back to the factory defaults. So if you do accidentally go into the P and S and then you're panicking and you're trying to get out and you've accidentally changed the programming of the computer, You can go to that one parameter, and I think it's the very last one. It's 20 something. You can hit that and then save it, turn the machine off and back on, and you're back to your parameters that it came factory set with. Now, I'm not going to be the one to sit here and talk you into this machine. If you're checking out sewing machines, you're already doing your research. Maybe this one is on your list. Cool. If it's not, cool. I don't care. I don't get paid by from Vevor if you buy one of these things. But if you do buy one, I'm here for you, and I will support you as much as I can. I've helped many people on here. I freely give out my email address. Try to ask your questions on YouTube so that other people can see it. If there's something I don't know, or if I'm giving bad advice and you know otherwise, jump in there. This is a community-based thing, and you guys are my family. And if my brother or sister can answer something to help out one of our other brothers and sisters, that's fantastic. And, you know, I know a lot about these. I don't know everything. But again, if you're leaning towards a Juki 8000, you know, with the one that's got the direct drive, it's got the computer, or the 9000, I think it is. Man, that thing's like $3,000. I bought this pre-tariff, and I think it was barely under 400 bucks. It was like 385 or something like that. Right after I bought it, it jumped up to like 450. And now that the tariffs are in place, you're going to pay more. And I think it's up to 550, something like that. And that includes the shipping. And it also includes this wonderful table, all the pedals, everything you need except for this. I bought this. This is a little magnetic light. Turn it on, show you. It's just a magnetic LED work light that you can put wherever you need to. And that's really the only thing I've done. I've bought her, oh, she has a name. It's Veronica. All of my machines have a name. This is Veronica. My JD Bow is named Steve. My Singer 4423 is named Samantha. But anyway, so I've bought her many presser feet that I needed for what I was doing. And I bought a big kit that's got a bunch of feet that I will never use. So you can do that. You can either buy the kit. I gave one away a few weeks ago. I gave away a 25-piece foot kit. And I've got another giveaway coming up where I'm going to give away one of these bobbin winders. So keep an eye out for that. So I've bought some feet for it. I bought a couple of these edge guides, you know, and the cool thing about this is cast iron. So, you know, magnetic magnets stick to it very well. And I just keep that up there. And I've got this little dot right there to keep my little snippers. But that's all that I've had to add to it. I could, if I really wanted to, I can buy this, 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 and this for a Juki 8700, and I can have everything gray like this one. When I got this machine, it came with this piece snapped off. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, there was another person that this part right here was cracked right in half. They had to take pictures of it, get with Vevor, and I think they eventually told them to just keep it and they'll just send a new one. And that's pretty cool. And then I think they got a welder to weld it up and grind it down. But so there have been a couple of people who have commented to me that when it arrived, there was a piece missing or a piece broken. On mine, this piece was broken off. I got on Amazon and I ordered this for a Juki 8700 machine. It was a 5-pack of these. So apparently they break a lot, but I've got 4 more of them. But it was a 5-pack of these for like $6. And this piece was bent. This little guard was bent. Probably at the same time this got broke off. And I just grabbed it and just pulled it back. I could order a new one, but I don't care, you know. And these 2 pieces aren't enough for me to go through the hassle of contacting Vevor, trying to get a new one, boxing it up, sending it back. Just $5, man. Just get on Amazon, order one. If you want to, send me a message. I'll send you one. I've got 4 more. But, you know, you gotta kind of expect that. Because it is coming from halfway around the world. I think this, just the machine, I think weighs 73 pounds. So you would think that they would not toss it around. If it was something that just weighed 2 or 3 pounds, it's in a big box like that, yeah, they're just gonna toss it around to each other. But this is 73 pounds, so it's not tossable. It could have not been stacked properly and fell over on the stack. It could have fallen off the forklift. When somebody was setting it down, maybe it's the end of the day, their back hurts. 2 guys are sitting there loading these and they just kind of just dropped it a little. And it could have rolled off the edge. You know, I don't know. I could come up with all kinds of scenarios. So keep that in mind that mine came with just this broken and this bent. Other people have gotten theirs in pristine condition with nothing wrong. And then you've got the one where this was cracked. You know, but this kind of thing has nothing to do with Vevor. It could be a Juki, you know, it would probably be packed better, but it could be a Juki that you ordered that came in with a broken piece or a missing piece. Or it could be something you ordered for your car that got, you know, looked like the UPS guy drove over it. I mean, that just happens when you're subjected to international shipping, no matter what it is. It could be a sewing machine, it could be a microwave. There's no telling. And that's just one of those things. Another bad point about this, I fully expect this to last me for years. The computer, maybe not. You run a risk of this display going out. You run a risk of a short on the computer. You know, you run a risk of the motor burning up. But you would have that same thing if you bought the Juki 9000 for $3,000. It could happen to them. You can probably get that replaced on your Juki a lot easier and faster than you could get one of these, because they haven't discontinued the M2. They're still making them, but they've come out with 2 other models, and the display is square. So one of those won't fit in here. Now, this machine is also sold in other parts of the world. In South Africa, this same machine is sold under the name Two Lions. But again, if you're looking at this, there's a reason. And it's probably because of price and availability. And as far as the sewing, I have 0 complaints. I don't have any complaints about the machine whatsoever. It does everything that I've asked it to do. It handles more material than I typically do. If you change the foot to like a Teflon foot or a roller foot or a tank foot, you can do several layers of upholstery vinyl. If you're doing that, like that clear stuff, like you would do like for a window on a sailboat sail, that stuff is super sticky. But you know, there's ways around that, and this machine will do. I've sewn leather with it up to a combined thickness of, I think, a little less than a quarter, maybe 3/16, you know, something like that. Certainly up to an eighth. But everything else on this machine, I forgot to show you this. These 2 screw holes right here are industry standard. So when you want to put a binder attachment on here or edge guide that's not magnetic, these 2 holes are industry standard, so you're not going to have a problem with that. The needle plates are industry standard. The feed dogs are industry standard. The bobbins, the bobbin case, you know, holder, all of it's industry standard. When you buy this, oh, and I've got a little piece right here that I'm kind of saddened about, that the paint's coming off from rubbing on the inside of the table. It is an oil bath machine, so you're going to need some number 10 oil, sewing machine oil. I think they just call it white oil. But when you buy one of these and you first set it up, you're going to see these little white strings. Those are not for shipping. Don't cut them off. These go into the oil. They're oil wicks, and it'll wick oil up into these little tubes up here around your bobbin. You know, all that stuff. Keep everything wet. This is your oil pump. If over time you find out that it's not pumping like it should, you got 3 screws here you can take off. There's a little rubber impeller, and you can just buy the one for a Juki 8700. Pop it in there, put this back together, you're back in business. If you look under here, I don't know what's going on inside of here, but inside of this, up in here, up in here, all metal. Somebody sent me a question on this site, and she said, "Does it sound plastic?" No, it sounds like an all steel construction industrial sewing machine. You know, there's nothing inside here that's plastic. There might be a washer, maybe a bushing, but other than that, it is all steel. I can take my little magnet here. Look at there. It's steel, or it's stainless steel. You got some rubber lines right here that come off the oil pump that go up here to oil the top part. Over time, this might dry up and crack or come off, but that's neither here or there. The oil pan is the same as a Juki. It has a gasket that goes around. It's the same as the Juki. This little piece right here that is pushed up by the knee lift, this is called the umbrella Juki. Everything in here is replaceable from other machines. The bobbin winder, it's got 3 screws here. You can take it out. In case something happens to it, you can buy one that goes for a Juki 8000. There's also a rubber wheel, because there's a wheel about right here that turns this way when the machine's running. And then when you flip this lever over, it pushes another little wheel that turns this way that's got a rubber little wheel on it, little tire. Over time, that tire will wear down, but you can buy a little bag of 6 of them for a Juki for less than $10. And all of these things that you can get from anybody that sells parts. My favorite just happens to be Gold Star Tool. It seems like they have everything, and they ship really fast. And in 2 days I have it. Other parts like this, the little seam guide, all the feet, this bobbin winder, you know, anything else, I always order from CKP SMS off Amazon. They're my favorite Amazon seller. One thing that you might run into when you set this up for the very first time, and this will be the one and only time that you will encounter this, when you turn it on for the very first time, you might get an E05 error code. And I've made a video about that, and it's got nothing to do with the machine. It's something you did. The plug in the back that comes from the switch controller up under the table, you put it in backwards. Just unplug it, turn it, plug it back in, turn it back on, fixed. There is another thing that you may encounter, and it does not have to do with this machine. It can happen to any industrial sewing machine, is pulling up the bobbin thread, or if you get a bunch of thread stuck up in here, if it can't break this thread, if you're using really strong thread and the machine can't just break it, and you got a big bird nest of thread up under here, you're going to get an E07 error, and this thing will lock up like you poured concrete in it. And I have a video out there that explains what happens, why that happens, and how to fix it, and how to get going again in 10 minutes. But other than that, I've got no problem with this machine. I've got no problem recommending it to somebody. you know, if you want a impressive industrial sewing machine that will do what you want it to do and still keep you around 500, 550 bucks, this is it. If you just want to blow your money, you can buy a Juki, a true Juki 8700. I think Gold Star sells them for about $1,200, $1,400, and it comes with the table. It's got the servo motor that goes underneath. It's not a direct drive. You'll have a belt coming up here to a pulley, and again, you know, that's a true Juki. But I used to have a Juki 8700. And then I saw this. That machine was getting pretty old, so I sold it. And it sold fast. I took that money and I was able to buy this Vevor and my J.D. Bow 8700, which I have a video about that too. And I love that J.D. Bow 8700. And I had a little bit money left over, and I saved up some more, and I bought the Iconics 335 cylinder arm machine over there. That, oh God, I love that machine. It is so nice. And then of course I still have my Singer 4423 Samantha over there. And if you've been following my channel, you know about my Yamada that I bought used on Marketplace, fixed it up, and I've got that for sale now. And so let me wrap this up. There are good points to this. There's a couple of bad points, but the bad points aren't about the machine. It's about it coming shipped to me with this broken off. You know, I don't care. I would, if my best friend said, hey, I want to get into what you're doing, what's a machine I can get? I'm going to immediately tell him about this. I'm not going to talk anybody into this machine. I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to tell you the pros and cons. And I'm going to point you to my YouTube channel where I've got 15 videos of me using this machine, pushing miles of thread through it, doing, you know, I've probably done, I don't know, 60 to 100 projects on this machine. It has never let me down. The needle size is the same as everybody else. I don't know what else to say. So it's been a year. I love this machine, and if you get one, I hope you love it too. Thanks for watching. I know this is a little longer than I expected, but please give me a thumbs up. It helps me out with my YouTube analytics. But give me a thumbs up. Leave a description down below. I respond to every single comment that's made. And if you need some more in-depth help or opinions, or if you just want to chat, my email address is jchristophergear@gmail.com. Email me. I don't care. So, y'all have a good week.